How's everybody doing today? So my season here in Northeast Wisconsin has officially started. This garden became available last week Wednesday, and my other garden became available last weekend. That's one downside to renting a garden plot, is that your plot is ready when they tell you it's ready. But that's okay, it hasn't stopped us from gardening in the past. And that's something to remember, is nobody can fault you for doing your best. So today I am planting my onion seedlings, and I'm currently digging the mound to plant the seedlings in. If you want to stay tuned, I'll show you how I plant onion seedlings. So what I did here is I dug a trench to build the mound, and now I'm backfilling the trench with topsoil from my garden. And I'm going to work on building that mound just a little bit bigger. And then we'll dig a small trench down the center for fertilizer. So I don't know if you can see, there's a noticeable size difference between the Peter Glazebrook and the Elsa Craigs. You know, now these are my Elsa Craig seedlings. They look okay, they look nice. But here's the Glazebrook seedlings. Just a, you know, huge size difference. So I'm excited to see what I can get out of the Peter Glazebrook onions. I mean, the Elsa Craigs were good last year too, but this is my first time trying the Glazebrooks. Yeah, should be awesome, hopefully, you know. Alright, so what I have here is some mycorrhizal inoculant from Wallace Organic Wonder. I see a lot of the giant growers use this stuff, and some Extreme Gardening Azos beneficial bacteria. Now, I generally bought that for my pumpkins and watermelon, but a little research on Google was telling me that it also shows increased plant vigor and root growth on onions as well. So what I'm going to be doing is dipping the roots in each of these and then planting them in the hole. And then I'm probably going to add some Azos to the water when I water them in also. So I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm going to dip the roots in the mycorrhizal inoculant. I'm going to dip it in the Azos. And they're going in the hole. Kind of hard to do this one-handed, so I'll show you in a second here. Okay, so I got one planted. Now what I do is I don't like to bury the whole bulb the way I see other people do. I think that that the bulb needs room to expand, and especially these are bigger onions. So what I try to do is bury just the roots and leave most of the bulb above the soil for growth. Now some people might not agree with that, but that's how I did it last year, and they came out really, really nice. So I'm going to continue to do it that way. I think for the rest of this, it is hard to, I think it would be better to put the inoculants in the hole versus on the roots, just because I don't want to keep mixing them. So, you know, dip it in one and then dip it in the other. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done here. Alright, so now it's time to water in the onions. I want to talk to you a little bit about how I'm going to do that. I'm going to mix some super kelp with some fish fertilizer and azos into some water, and I'm just going to water them in. And so not everybody has to do that. You don't have to do that. Gardening can be whatever you want it to be. You can get as involved as you want to get. But I read books on how to grow like giant pumpkins, giant tomatoes, watermelon, all that good stuff. And basically, you know, there is nutrients in kelp and fish fertilizer, but mostly, like in giant kelp, there's a hormone that makes kelp grow so big. And so we just want to provide that, the kelp in part of the environment for our giant vegetables, in hopes that they pick it up and grow larger. And you know, that's just something I've read. You don't have to use kelp. You don't have to use fish fertilizer. You don't have to use mycorrhizae or azos, or, you know, you can make it as involved as you want. You know, when I first started gardening, I used to just put plants in the dirt, no fertilizer. Heck, I got a plot that doesn't have any water a few miles from here. So, you know, it can be whatever you want it to be. Don't let anybody discourage you. You know, you do it your way. And so to water these in, I'm going to use some kelp, some fish fertilizer, and azos to provide them, you know, with nutrients and the hormones to help them take off and grow larger. And along with azos, you know, beneficial bacteria, mycorrhizae, you know, what they do is they, you know, provide, they help feed the plants. You know, I think they take the sugars from the plants and turn them into nutrients. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare this, and I'll let you watch me spray them in, water them in. Okay, so that was just the initial water in. So now if you see the trench down the middle, that will be where we fertilize from here on out. So the next thing I'm going to do is hit them with some 10, 15, 10. And because right now we're going to focus on reestablishing the roots. Maybe next week or the week after, I might hit them with a little more nitrogen. But for now, I'm going to do a, I think, half strength, 10, 15, 10. Just to help them get reestablished. So I'll let you watch me do that. All right, guys, so the onions are planted and watered in, and if you want to stick around, I'll give you a quick tour update of the garden and what I'll be doing here. So stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the onions. They were just planted, transplanted, watered in, and then fertilized. So this is the rest of this plot. I have two right next to each other. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to put some garlic in here. I know it's very late for that. You plant it in the fall, but that's not what I did. I put them in baggies and put them in my fridge. And now that my plot's available, I'm going to put them out here and see if I can't get at least some scapes or some greens, but hopefully some small bulbs too, you know. So the next plot over, Could be this one here. This is where I plan on putting some Carolina Cross watermelon. Should be plenty of space for at least 2. So I might do one running this way and one running this way. I might cut it in half and just do one in each half. I'm not 100% sure yet how I want to do that, but I'll probably be setting that up next week. So I'll see. I got a few days off next weekend. Here we go. Thanks for watching.